Hi everyone. I know that it's been a long series that we have been doing, but thank you so much for connecting with this series, for connecting with us, and for all the feedback that we're getting from you about the series. And we're bringing it to a close. The topic for today is what do you need to propel yourself to the next level in your optometric journey? And we're going to touch base on a few characteristics that I believe can influence what becomes of you, who you become, the things that you'll be able to attain and achieve within the industry. And some of these things you start them at university. Work ethic. I believe that work ethic supersedes everything that you could possibly do. When you show up, when you go and just produce the kind of results that people sit back and like, wow, you did that with so much work ethic. Your work ethic sets you apart. Nothing sets you apart faster, quicker, more effectively than work ethic. If there's one thing that you could prioritize in your journey as a student, as a young professional, is having a high work ethic. Work ethic means that you don't wait for things to happen. You do things. Work ethic is about understanding that you have got no control over what happens to you, but you've got absolute control over what happens in you and through you or from you. Work ethic is not waiting to make a difference, not waiting to take the responsibility, not waiting for people to ask you for your assistance. Work ethic is identifying, here's a problem, this is what I can and cannot do, and this is what I'm going to contribute towards fixing this problem or bringing a solution to the table. Work ethic says that when you are present, you are present. You might have a lot of things going on in your personal life, but when it comes to your professional capacity, your work will speak for itself. When you are not there, there's a difference that this person is not here. And whatever that you have touched, when people look at the results, they'll be in a position to say, wow, this looks like so and so was here. So your work ethic, it's what's going to set you apart. Work ethic involves so many aspects. It involves things like going the extra mile. Going the extra mile. When you carry that type of attitude of going the extra mile, let's say you're in clinic. Patients could be seen as just numbers. You need to fill your logbook, if I can put it that way. You need to complete certain number of targets, and patients become numbers instead of realizing that patients are people. Work ethic is dealing with all those hundreds of patients that come to the clinic at optometry school as the most important person that you could ever help with their vision. It starts there. When you're following up and you dealt with a difficult case as a student in the clinic, the responsibility is not of the reception team to follow up with that particular individual. You worked with an ophthalmologist, you worked with another colleague, following up. Work ethic involves things like going the extra mile, following up, doing the things that you said you will do, checking up on the things that you said you will check up on, getting in touch with patients when you said you'll get in touch with patients. It starts when you were a student. Delivering above expectation, that is work ethic. Producing results that are above the norm. So work ethic involves things like, this is what the normal standard of operating or doing things is in this particular environment. This is where I operate. Whether people acknowledge this level or not, it's not up to them or you. You know that if this is the norm, this is where your norm is. That is work ethic. Doing things that are above the norm, exceeding expectations. Going into an environment and looking at what people are doing, what is accepted in that environment, what is not accepted in that environment, and what can you do to go the extra mile. And think about it, in an optometric practice, there'll be components like the optometrist, the ophthalmologist, let's say not ophthalmologist, but optometrist, optical dispenser, practice manager, eyewear consultant, administrative team, sales consultant, and debtors clerk, cleaning lady, junior staff like student optometrist, and so forth. There's a list of everything that is expected of you, and there's a list of everything that you can do to go the extra mile. Work ethic is based on what you do in terms of going the extra mile. So if there's a characteristic that I believe that you need to adopt, develop, have earlier on in your career, is a high work ethic. Work ethic comes into play when you don't feel like showing up. Work ethic kicks in. Work ethic will kick in when you're not achieving your sales targets due to whatever reason in the working environment one day. Your work ethic will carry you. Your work ethic will influence how you're going to be dealing with patients, customers, clients, how you're going to be providing services, the standards that you're going to be providing those standards with. Work ethic has to do with excellence. At the end of the day, sales in a business are as a result of the service delivery in that particular practice. When the service delivery goes up, the sales will go up. When the service delivery goes down, the sales will go down. One forms the foundational basis of the other one. And so, service excellence, doing things with excellence, anything that you do that has got an excellence attached to it, or excellence approach or mentality attached to it, is as a result of your work ethic. Work ethic says, I don't feel like going to work, but I'm committed and I will show up to work. So it's got many dynamics to it that if you can adopt those, make it personalized for yourself and implement it in your behavior, your personality. If there's something that you want to be known for, is being known for having a high work ethic. When people speak of you and they're speaking of you in terms of your high work ethic, changes the dynamics in terms of how people look at you, how people identify with you. So, number one, work ethic. Don't compromise on it. Constantly develop it. Constantly enhance it. Work on it. And it's going to open doors for you that you can't begin to imagine. Next, integrity. Integrity, who you are in private should be who you are in public. Do what you say you're going to do and say what you're going to do. And integrity enables people to trust you. When you're constantly delivering on that which you said you're going to deliver, when you're constantly doing the right thing, even when everything in you says do the wrong thing, even when everyone else around you is doing the wrong thing, and integrity kicks in, people can trust you. One day you'll be sitting with patients, and patients will come in and they will not be on the medical aid or the insurance benefit, and they would want their partners to get glasses and under their medical aid insurance benefits and so forth. Integrity will kick in to say, but this is not how we do things here. This is the level of eye care that we provide, and we're not going to be compromising on the level of eye care that we provide you. So integrity is creating an opportunity for you to be a trustworthy person, building a trustworthy brand, building a reputable brand around yourself, around what you're going to be doing in practice one day. So integrity is a very high quality to have. One day you're going to be employing people, you're going to be wanting to look at the integrity, because you can't trust people that don't have integrity. You can only trust people that have integrity. And so integrity, work ethic, for me, that sits right at the top of any other quality that you could possibly have. Next, attitude. You need a positive attitude. You need to be I think there's a difference between a thermostat and a thermometer. One checks the temperature. It's a passive ingredient, if I can put it that way. It just tells you what the temperature is, but it does not do anything to change it. Whereas the other one, it's an active ingredient. It determines what the temperature will be like. So you need to be like a thermostat. You need to be like a catalyst in the environment. You need to be that go the extra mile type of behavior, type of attitude. You need to be that type of individual that the environment is better because you are in it. The people around me are better, perform better because they work with you. So attitude will come into play one day when you're in practice and you're dealing with difficult patients, or someone walks in just before you close. There are situations in the team, in the practice, where the team is not getting along very nicely, and you are the most senior person in that environment. Attitude will influence how you're going to be managing your patients. Patients will be picking up on your energy. Patients will be picking up on your approach in how you're managing them. Remember, patients one day, when you're going to be dealing with them, they'll be thinking, when you're discussing management solutions with them, they'll be looking at what will you be doing, or what will they benefit when they go with what you recommend, versus what will they lose if they don't go with what you're recommending. And our role is to showcase the difference. Now, the attitude that will be playing a role in that is things like your confidence levels, your competency levels, your comfort levels in discussing various management solutions with your patients. So your attitude will determine or play a role or influence the decisions that patients are going to be making one day when you are sitting with them, discussing their management related solutions, discussing their diagnostic results, what causes what they have as an eye problem versus what can be done in solving that problem. It will influence your leadership style, because attitude will mean that you will not expect your team to do that which you are not. Remember, attitude will play itself like this as well in the practice one day. The optometrist or the business owner can only go as far as his or her vision stretches them. The team can only grow or go as far as they see the leadership team goes. So you can't expect your team to do or be or produce what you as the business owner one day is not doing. Your business cannot grow or go beyond what your team is willing to do, grow and go. So if you want to take your practice to the next level, you need to take your team to the next level. The only way your team can be taken to the next level is if the business leader, the business owner, is operating at that level. It's a ripple effect, and that is attitude. Attitude has to do with your mindset, how you think about things. Understanding that people rub off on the energy that you have. When you're sitting with patients in front of you, you want to be quick to build trust. You want to connect with them. You want to develop loyalty with them. It's all in the attitude, how you do things. Will you be coming across as you sales pitching them, or you have got genuine care and concern for their eyes? When you sitting with patients, empathy will be a characteristic that will bridge the gap in communication that exists between yourself and the patients. And so attitude is a characteristic that I believe that you have to have a positive attitude. And you can have a positive attitude irrespective of your personality trait, whether you are an introvert, an extrovert, or an ambivert. The positive attitude plays a role in the environment that you are in. Another characteristic that I can think of, or quality that will play a pivotal role, is communication. Communication for me, that's a whole other series that we're going to be doing on communication. But I'm just going to highlight it as a characteristic or as a quality that will be vital for you to understand within your journey. Communication, learn how to communicate with different types of consumers, patients, customers, and clients. Learn how to communicate with your different teams. Communication that involves service providers and suppliers or corporates. Communication that deals with your colleagues and industry peers. Communication plays a pivotal role in how we manage different situations, different patients, different customers, different clients on a day-to-day basis within the practice. So communication, improve on your communication. You do so by developing your listening skills, developing different forms of communication, whether it be audio, whether it be visual. You want to look at different styles of communication. You want to look at different mechanisms of communication. So that's a characteristic that you need to develop. That also requires you to go further, and depending on the country that you're in, look at language. Look at how do we communicate with the different buying generations. How the baby boomers, the Generation X, the silent generation, the millennials, the Gen Z, and you break it down in terms of high incoming earners, middle incoming earners, low incoming earners. All of that plays a role with regards your communication approach. So work ethic, integrity, attitude, communication, that plays a pivotal role in terms of qualities that can help propel your journey in eye care. And you can add other characteristics. I mean, things that are personal for me was humility. I wanted to brand myself as the most humble individual in eye care. And so that was a characteristic that I knew that no matter how far I go in my career, no matter what I achieve, humility is going to be at the core of everything that I do. Dr. Daryl Glover, for example, he branded himself as everyone's favorite optometrist, and it's something that he had adopted and got from how he was managing with patients in the clinics. And so that was something that would be personal for me in terms of humility. It could be something completely different from you, but I think the first four that I mentioned, that is like standard, boom, bam, you need to have those in place because it can help propel your journey in eye care. And so these are just some qualities that I believe you just need to be aware of. Others you can develop. So look at who you are as an individual. What are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? What are your opportunities? What are your threats? Do a self-inspection of yourself. Look at what qualities come out naturally from you, how much development and enhancement is required on them. Then you look at qualities that you need, whether it be leadership qualities, whatever quality that you need to develop further than what you currently are capable of at the current moment, and constantly work at it, and we should never stop learning. Always learn. Always learn. That will make sure that you don't become complacent, you don't become stagnant in whichever phase or stage of your career. And so I hope you enjoyed that short little series on just things I wish I knew when I was at university. Would love to hear from you in terms of what other topics you would have loved for us to cover. This was a fun series for us because it's really something that was personal for us, because we know that because of how passionate we are about adding value to the next generation of eye care leaders, we created this short series just for you so that you can be able to go further than the people that have come before you. We appreciate every one of you guys. Thank you for connecting onto the different platforms. Thank you for subscribing to the channel throughout this series. It's really, really much appreciated. And we look forward to seeing you guys reach high levels of success in your own journeys. And we are here to support you along the way. And this is a fun industry. This is a worthwhile industry to be in. This is a fruitful industry, and what we do makes an impact to millions of people around the world. Hope you have enjoyed it. Until the next time we come up with a new and fun series again just for you, take care, God bless, and stay awesome. And just in everything that you do, make it count. I think that's the message that we wanted you to get throughout this series. Is in every single thing that you do, make whatever that you do count. Make it count. That is the biggest advice that we could ever give you. Make what you do count. Show up. There's things that we always communicate on the different platforms that we're in. Number one, we always say, never let anyone who doesn't have your passion manage your vision. That's number one. Number two, never let anyone convince you that that which you want to achieve is a lie. It's impossible, because that is a blatant lie. Number three, never settle for anything less than what you deserve. Go after it with everything you've got. Whatever it is that you've written down, whatever it is that you plan on doing, go after it with everything you've got. And never allow yourself to be in environments that don't bring out the best out of you. Don't settle for environments that don't bring out the best out of you. So those are some of the things that we just always highlight on a day-to-day basis as a reminder to ourselves of what we can achieve, what is possible, and where we want to go. Till the next time, take care and God bless.